Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday interview series. If you're new here, we meet with guests of our network and share resources out to our industry. Today, we're fortunate to have Britt Martens, the nutrition consultant and farm to ECE coordinator with CDPHE with us. She's going to be discussing all things farm to ECE resources and opportunities for the childcare industry. So, hey, Britt, welcome and thanks for joining today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and happy Farm to Child Month, everyone.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. All right. So to kick us off today, briefly explain your role with CDPHE and kind of how long you've been there.
Yeah, so I have been at the Department of Public Health and Environment for just under 5 years now. And during that time, I have always worked in some sort of Farm to capacity. So in 2016, we received our first Farm to grant through a team nutrition opportunity. And I was an educator for that grant and coordinated it. And then I kind of transitioned into a nutrition consultant role, which is for the Child and Adult Care Food Program, the CACFP, which I know a lot of you providers are a part of. So I am one of the nutrition consultants. If I'm your nutrition consultant. Hello. And then I was able to move into this farm to ECE coordinator position. And within that role, I'm able to work with institutions, both with technical assistance to try to connect to farmers, but also developing a lot of really wonderful resources. And I really look back on my time as a chef and my culinary degree to try to help with those resources when I create recipes and different trainings as well.
Wow, that background, that goes hand in hand. That's pretty cool.
It does, yeah. It's a great way to get to still be involved in the kitchens.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great overview. So for those completely unaware, you broke it down a little bit, but what is Farm to ECE?
Yeah, so Farm to ECE, Early Care and Education, we also call it Farm to Child, is a wonderful program that includes 3 core components. Local procurement, so buying, serving local foods to children in care, as well as gardening. And gardening can be in any capacity that you have. So if you have a large space and you can do raised beds or in-ground, large gardening capacity, or maybe you have a few pots in the window. Gardening truly just speaks to the fact that you're teaching children where food comes from, how it's grown, etc. And then the last component ties right into gardening, and that's nutrition and agricultural education. So not only how the food is grown, but is it good for your body and how is it good for your body?
Wow, okay, yeah, those definitely go hand in hand. That's pretty cool. I'm even learning a whole lot from these. I always do. That's amazing. Yeah. So where can providers that are watching it in our network, where can those in the network start when it comes to bringing these healthy eating habits and things like that to their business in the childcare industry?
Well, it's an interesting thing because I think everyone has different capacity, and especially right now in the pandemic still with supply shortages and low stat, all of the different issues that everyone is facing, bringing on something new can feel really challenging. But I always recommend with Farm to finding a way to incorporate it in what you're already doing. So the Farm to Child website has amazing resources on it. It's through CDPHE on our CACFP Alphabet Soup website. And we have a bunch of resources on there that'll give you a better idea of where you want to start. At the very end of this month, we'll be releasing a Farm to Child guide. And that is the full purpose of this guide, is so that you can go through it. And if you want to talk about gardening, there's a goal setting and kind of a way to walk through what type of garden you can have, who you should contact to help you, and how to become involved in gardening in a way that makes sense for you. So the guide is really going to be our first stop. And we believe by the beginning of November, we'll also have that guide in Spanish. So we're awesome. Very excited to have that. Yeah, so all providers can get involved. But for me, I think my biggest advice is start small with Farm to. Maybe just switch out a book once a week. Instead of reading about maybe rainbows, we're going to read about how food is grown or seeds or life cycles of a plant, and start integrating Farm to activities into things you're already doing. So if you serve apples, maybe just buy local apples. They're in season right now. They're easier to find right now. And really just working with what you're already doing to start. What you're already doing.
Yeah, that's huge. And that's sometimes people overlook that they have to make some kind of a big transition, and that's not always the case. So that's a huge tip there. So yeah, thank you for that. So why is it so important for the industry when thinking about the younger children and how they develop? Why is this topic so important to them?
I love that question.
Open it up.
That's a wonderful question. Farm to is so important for children because it gives them this opportunity to have increased access. So we know across our state that not only do children not have equal access, but right now with the pandemic, especially, children are very hungry. So if within our programs, we're able to focus on what type of food we're trying to bring in, we can increase their access to fresh, seasonal, nutritious food. And also with our programming of gardening and learning about plants and beginning to understand how a plant grows and becoming invested in it, we see children more willing to try foods, that peer environment where we're taste testing together. It can truly have lifelong impacts on children's eating habits. We have seen, and research has really shown, that when children are introduced to vegetables at a really early age, even infancy, but that 1 to 5 window, they will have lifelong changes in their eating habits. And Farm 2 just has all of those pieces to bring it together. I'm a really firm believer in helping children learn patience and emotional, and the mental health benefits of gardening are huge. You have children out in the garden and they have to share, they have to ask and wait for the shovel. And then actually being in the dirt is really beneficial for your mental health, and the sunshine, and watching a child plant a tomato. And I have 2 children, so I'm not speaking from, I do have experience in this with cell phones and everything out there now. Our children have gotten into this kind of, I want it now.
Yep.
And I think even as adults, we're doing this now. I mean, ordering things and they show up the next day, we're starting to become more impatient. And when we have children plant a tiny little tomato seed and watch the plant grow, and then there's the little green tomato and they still can't pick it and they have to wait for it to get red, it's this amazing opportunity to teach them patience and investment in their food and excitement around it. And it really has such amazing impacts on children.
Yeah, it's a whole experience, and you got to start them young. That's awesome. Yeah,
absolutely.
Great tips there. So as the season does change, things are getting cooler outside with fall. What's something maybe seasonally specific that could be good for the industry to know right now with their kiddos and their eating habits right now in autumn and fall?
Yeah, definitely. So getting outside with children right now is a really fun experience because it's really good for their senses. Everything is changing right now. The air feels different, even the sun is different. It's a little cooler out, and you can just start to ask them to notice those changes. The trees, what's different about the trees right now? And from Monday to Friday, the leaves on the ground are going to change. So, at first they're soft when they fall, and then they're crunchy. So just starting to bring attention to the changing of seasons is a wonderful way to begin conversations about seasonality of food. And when we talk about purchasing local food, it has this really amazing effect on your menu because you're no longer able to really buy raspberries right now because raspberries aren't growing in Colorado, and snap peas aren't growing in Colorado. But you can get the most beautiful, delicious, crunchy apples right now, and you can get squash and corn and potatoes. And so it gives you this chance to talk to the children about that. And if you have a garden, letting the children know when you're putting the garden to sleep. The plants come out now, but what are we doing? We're just putting them to sleep, and we're helping the soil to be regenerative for the spring. And talking about those life cycles is another way to really connect the kiddos to the garden, especially in fall. And it's just such a great time of year to get outside and help them feel those changes of the seasons.
It's such a big picture lifestyle conversation. That's so cool. Yeah. I'm still learning things myself. This is awesome.
Yeah. Gardening is a constant learning process. Every year you get better at it. Don't be discouraged, first-time gardeners. And if you need help with putting your garden to sleep, we do have webinars about that on our Farm to Child website as well.
Yeah, and I'll be sure and include that link down below in the description. Yeah, that's great. So where can our providers go if they have questions, like you said, or if they're wanting to learn more about this?
So start at that website, go through all the different tabs. If you do want to take on more than just one change a day, there are amazing curricula out there that have already been fully developed that are amazing. They're maybe not as Colorado specific as the guide is, but the guide is not a curriculum. So if you're looking for that, you can find them. If you are looking for a farmer, we do have a survey on the website that will connect you to me. And the survey actually serves farmers and producers as well. They can say they're looking for a childcare. So occasionally you might get contacted by me saying, hey, do you want to buy local? There's a farmer near you. You can fill out that survey. And then as the Farm to ECE State Coordinator right now, contact me, please. I want to know how I can best assist anyone who wants to do this work. The website's a great place to do that, but also get my email and just send me off a message of what it is you're looking for. I will do what I can to connect everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. If you have any kind of resources or opportunities you'd like to share out, feel free to do so now.
Yeah,
leave it up to you for that.
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm very excited to announce. So last year we received an Association of State Public Health Nutritionists Farm to ECE implementation grant. So it's called the FIG, which is super cute. And so we had 1 year of that grant and we received a second year of funding for that. So this year we will be releasing more mini grants for under that opportunity, more to come on that one. And we also received a farm to school grant. And that grant is specifically focused on CACFP centers and on local food. So under that grant, subgrantees will be able to receive increased reimbursement per meal. So if you serve a local apple at breakfast, every kid at that meal, you would get an additional 10 cents per meal per child. And you could serve another local item and get another additional 10 cents per child. And that grant opportunity is available right now. And then those funds that you would receive back as your incentive, you can use them for your garden, your meal service, trying to, enhance your farm to programming in whatever way you would like. So that application will close at the end of the month on Halloween at midnight. Can you tell I love Halloween? And it's up. So if you're interested, please go to our website and take a look at that. And again, questions, come straight to me.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, well, we'll wrap up here. Feel free to share if you have any final thoughts or suggestions. I'll kind of leave it open if you want to share a billboard slogan or anything you want to share here as we wrap it.
Well, one last thing I have to throw out there. It is the Mountain Plains Crunch Off. And the Crunch Off takes place every year, and it's the Mountain Plains region. So we go against other states, and Colorado has never won. So if you would like to help us win this year, it is in our newsletter and on our website. Just register your center, and then you just bite into local food one day together. It's the 17th through the 24th is our week, and it's super easy to enter and super fun and just a great way to bring attention to local food with children and help us take down Nebraska, because we really would like to win this year. We're feeling extra competitive.
That's amazing. This year's the year.
It is. We can feel it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Britt. We appreciate it. I'll be sure and include all the information there in the description on whatever platform. But as always, we appreciate your time and your information, and we'll see everyone next time.
Right.
Thanks, Britt.
Thank you so much.